little slow. Just
That's okay. We're
a
all
scotch.
not running at full capacity right now.
We are not running full capacity. We weren't even on last week, but we have returned. Life gotten in the way again, as it does. But we're back on Tuesday with Drake and Nat. And this week, we have various themes this season so far. I have tried to co-opt for the weekly Bulls show. You shot that down. I still don't understand why. The Bulls are great. But
Still slipping them in there.
well, it will be relevant here momentarily. This week we need our midseason coronavirus update. Because
what was
it's
that
back.
music? Was that your breaking news music?
Yes, it was. I forgot to queue up a soundbite. That would have been smarter. It's back. It has gone
form.
Yes, it has gone dormant and now has stormed back to the headlines. It's wrecking the season. I think it's going to get
definitely
worse.
wreaking more havoc on sports specifically than it has since everybody shut down.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. A few crazy numbers. One, NBA first, and then actually some other fun sports numbers, because your point is very correct in terms of the broad-based impact. First, so now today, two new big stars are in protocols, Giannis and Harden. Harden has actually had COVID a few times and definitely is vaccinated. A couple of teams, the Nets being one, are completely wrecked right now. The Nets have like 7 guys in protocols. The Bulls had to get their games postponed because they have 9 guys in protocols. They literally
not enough to field a healthy roster.
Couldn't literally field an 8-player roster, and they got guys on 2-way contracts. And they got
hardship
10-day
exemptions.
There are people playing basketball out of high school, I swear to God. And they won some games. Like, good on them. They still won some games on wacky schedules. But like Lonzo played 40 minutes, like 5 games straight, being basically the only guy not in protocols. Who else? The Hornets got 5 guys in protocols,
including LaMelo, right?
Including LaMelo. And yeah, it's I read some interesting stuff yesterday. And I think and we'll dive into this more. I think there's going to be a disconnect because like the Bulls kind of got penalized because they were proactive. A couple guys came out of Thanksgiving, tested positive, and they like proactively tested everybody, and then like everybody tested positive. And so it's probably going to become a don't ask, don't tell situation, I think, with some of this testing, because
I think there will be more ramping up of testing. I think the league will enforce a lot more testing going forward.
Oh, you think the opposite? I see. Interesting.
Because at this point, like, who knows how much quiet spread is happening of this, whether it's like, if we were to get deep into our public health hour, whether it's like the new variant or not, or whatever. It's clearly like running through the league right now. And so they have to, they either like, I feel like, I guess let's go out further on this. Like, what is the end game here? Like, are we, because it's so, if this keeps happening, we're not going to have any players left. So like, and they don't have any wiggle room in their season this year. Like last year, they didn't do the second half of the schedule intentionally because they programmed in some wiggle room. Are they going to do something like that again, where they're like, okay, we'll push the playoffs back like 2 to 3 weeks so we can allot for all of the canceled games? Are they going to do something like that? Because games are going to start getting canceled soon. I mean, they already have.
Yeah, they're postponing them, but like, yeah, after so many, you can't fit them back in, to your point. This is my one question too, of like, how is one person who's playing a game not when they test positive, how does that not take out everybody that was like on the court that night? I still don't
I don't understand that either. I guess they don't consider that enough of a close contact.
But like if you're a big, like if you're Aiton playing Nurk, you're in close contact. Like Aldridge, or Giannis is in close contact with everybody on the court by the nature of him driving to the basket 15 million times a game.
There just must be something in the science of like minutes and moving around and et cetera, that like,
maybe,
you know.
So that's a tangent. That's a tangent to your actual question. I am very pessimistic about this personally, from the money talks perspective. I because and I think even in the past week, I think broadly, you've seen a lot of in the general media and cultural publications, like people are done with all of like you have like the torrent of Omicron variant, and then everybody else being like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And I think it's gonna break now. Like nobody wants to talk about it anymore. And you're gonna have guys like Giannis and Harden going out, missing games, those teams doing bad, like the money starts reducing. And I think the NBA will just like reduce the protocol procedure for vaccinated players and like just be like, whatever. Like if you're symptomatic, stay home. If not, whatever. I'm pretty pessimistic about it because teams aren't going to want to deal with this. Like,
Yeah, and there's other things too. Take, for example, the Nets, right? What happens if KD blows his knee out because he's playing 45 minutes a night for 6 straight games trying to, because they literally can't rest him because they don't have enough people to rest him. And then
yeah,
he like dies. And so like that will be the end of the protocol if some big star blows himself out with an overuse injury because he literally has to play every minute of every game because there just aren't enough people.
exactly.
Then yeah, it does seem like we're reaching a point where like one of two things will need to happen. Either we'll just need to start getting more liberal about postponing games and creating some sort of wiggle room towards the end of the season where those games can be made up. Or you, like you say, reducing the protocol for vaccinated and boosted players probably.
Yeah,
So
because
like
there's no positive incentive here for any team to do the right thing. Like all they see is lost games to
well, it's
be
not the
proactive.
teams really that have to be on this. The league has rules and everybody has to do the things.
No, but sure, but like what's the penalty for so I just mean like they're gonna do the absolute barest minimum
Yeah.
possible and probably less if they can get away with it if their players aren't symptomatic, right? Like because a lot of these
Yes.
are unsymptomatic close contact cases, and I think the Bulls, especially, most of those guys are not symptomatic and they're just close contact tracing cases. The Nets are probably the same way, and it's going to keep happening. And so like the players are going to start getting mad about it because they're going to not be symptomatic. Like you're just, nobody's going to be happy. and like it used to be fine when people were getting really ill.
Or there was at least the threat of getting really ill.
Yeah, and there wasn't and they weren't vaccinated. Like the Bulls are 100% vaccinated too.
Yeah, the league is 97% vaccinated. That's like what, 10 guys out of 400 and something.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be?
10s, 40s, 7. Yeah, 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could be any 12. One's Kyrie, right?
I mean, we know like 6 of them.
and we know one's Kyrie.
One's Beal.
Two's Beal. So we got 2 guys and then some scrubs. But like, we haven't heard of a story of like somebody getting really ill so bad, like a Bamba in last year,
or like Jason Tatum.
Yeah. So I think you'll start seeing like the NBA PA even starting to like push back and say like, okay, maybe we don't need this anymore. Because like,
yeah, I could see if we keep getting like this mass protocol thing where 9-10 guys for a team are in it, that they'll probably have to rethink it some way. They'll have to do something will have to change, like, because you can't keep playing 8-man games and like playing back-to-backs and long road trips and stuff like that. Like you're to start killing your older stars, and nobody wants to see that also. So
yeah,
I think there will be, and totally borks our fantasy league because we're weekly. This is like the first time I'm upset about being weekly because it's like, oh, look, it's Tuesday and like half of the top 5 draft picks entered the protocol and their teams are now hosed.
Or like the Bulls games, I have Lonzo. He's not even not healthy, but they just postponed the games like Monday night.
That was actually like Monday early afternoon. So you had time. You just missed it.
It was 3:30. I'm sorry. I had a work call.
Work.
I know, it's the worst. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. I do think that like again, like you can't have guys playing 40 minutes a night, many games in a row in the middle of the season for no good reason. Like people just
just
start
because they
breaking
have
down
to.
just because they have to. Yeah, that's nobody wants that. The player association doesn't want that. League doesn't want that. It is interesting. Like in the just going outside of this, I don't know how the NFL is doing. I assume they're just ignoring it
No,
because
I'm
it's the
pretty
NFL.
sure they put like 60 guys on the protocol
Oh,
yesterday.
oh,
Like half of the Rams are in it. The Browns put 10 people in yesterday.
wow.
It's the same thing.
I did.
The
I
same thing is happening.
Look at me not giving the NFL any credit. I wonder why.
No, the NFL actually did a really, really good job with their COVID stuff. Like the first season, it's been less of a factor this year until now.
Fair.
But
The
they did a pretty good job with it.
the MLS also had it hit them pretty hard. The Philadelphia Union in the playoffs had 11 guys out.
Ooh,
A whole
that's like the
starting.
whole team.
Yeah, no, it was literally 6 starters. Their starting goalkeeper, who was like one of the better goalkeepers in the league, their captain, their top goal scorer, like they were hosed.
How many people are on a roster in MLS?
I think the full capable roster is something like 20 some odd people, maybe 25,
So it's
22.
almost half the team.
Yeah, and like you can dress
Oof.
18 for a game. 11 obviously playing on the field. So
Right.
and they have some similar kind of, you can sign short-term contracts and all that fun stuff. Like we had to that
So
Sounders had to do that for some injuries unrelated to COVID during the season.
So long story short, everything is bad, and this will never end, and I hate everything.
Yep.
Just to wrap it up. Shall we move along?
Moral of the story: watch the injury wires on Monday. Yes, we can move along. So that's all sad and fun.
Yeah.
Back to what we actually are here for.
Some good news.
Good news. Is Amy continuing her domination good news? I don't know if that classifies as just news or
me
good
beating
news.
you is good news. That's very good news.
I'm just
great
bad.
News.
I'm bad.
Your team played great last week. That's the thing. Like that was a really I won that by very little.
I mean, yeah, I guess one block.
A block,
16
15 points. A couple
what
of
happened?
made shots.
You know who killed me? The last day, I showed this to you. I was lamenting him earlier in our personal fun time friend chat. Lauri Markkanen shot 12%, and then Lonzo shot 33%, and then where's Marcus Smart? He had a game where he shot, I think, Marcus Smart.
Whoa, less than 10%. Just stop shooting at that point. So that's what, 1 for 11, 1 for 12.
Yeah, he has been wildly inconsistent this year.
That's his game. That's
in the
who
points
he is.
category.
I think I told you he's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's thrilling. Sometimes after you're done, you're out back throwing up in a garbage can. Like there's just nothing, and there's no predicting which reaction is going to happen.
No, yeah. So that was rough. And so for the week he shot 28%. That killed me. Because I actually I have kept my non-big guys. I have tried to curate a fairly high percentage shooting team, which has been happening. And then
though trading away Capella and adding Lonzo drastically reduces your shooting.
Oh, percentage. Sure. But I only had 2 big guys anyway. Like Capella, obviously, bumping out of that point. He doesn't take a lot of shots. So he shoots a high percentage, but he is not taking a lot of shots throughout the week. But most of my non-bigs all shoot 45% or better typically.
Yeah. Well, you got Bane, who's almost exclusively a 3-point shooter. Hero, who for this season has been better, but for most of last season was like a 40-41-ish% shooter overall. But he's pretty low percentage. You got more low percentage shooting than you usually do, I feel like.
I've given up on the bigs because there are no bigs. As we discussed last show, I did trade Capella for the long term.
We did not discuss that last show. With that was well we have that to talk about now.
Did we not?
Today.
I thought
No,
we
we
did.
didn't get to that. No, that was more recent.
Oh, it was Maurice. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
So
Because
yeah,
a lot of activity.
Grimes. Who is Grimes?
He went for 30 because everyone on the Knicks is in the protocol, and then he was on the protocol. I put him in because he was literally the only person I could play. And so I put him in, and he is not going to play. So I'm down a spot.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's fine.
In other matchups, and we'll look at last week. Poop Matt is having a rough year, very clearly. Even 10, but they tied on turnovers. Joe still had triple double. Tied on turnovers is a consolation. But we also didn't talk about the prior week, where Amy,
the clash of the Titans right there.
And Amy clearly asserted her dominance in the table, knocking off Joe, who still top of the Roto, but not producing otherwise. And
he's still 5-3, still in the playoff picture.
Oh no, he's still
gotta get to the playoffs. Built for the playoffs.
For the playoffs. Oh, I didn't have it queued up. Good setup though. And then you tied Poop Manis, who is the worst team in the league.
So many ties.
So you're going up and down.
See, if we had went last week, I was gonna wear a tie and start talking about how I'm the tie guy. And now I've snapped that streak, just like you're not dunce cap boy. I am not tie guy anymore. So an opportunity missed.
Sorry for ruining your inability to be tie guy. You do have a lot of ties. I really like the current table right now, mostly because so obviously Amy.
I didn't see this. This is 4, 5, 6, all the same record, but completely different numbers.
Yes, it's amazing. So Amy obviously running away with it, and then kind of Jason and Joe sort of next, and then everybody else in every different dimension, basically with the same record.
Yep. We all got there in different ways,
which is hilarious.
I should probably be about. I'm gonna pump myself up a little bit here and say I'm probably more like a 5-3 team or a 6-2 team at this point, because all of my ties came from behind. Like I was way ahead, and then the final night was like random tie.
I mean, so I think I'm like 6-2 as well. So because all of my losses came from better teams. So I don't get the
solid logic. Solid logic. I like
it. So you can take that as you will.
I will take it as I will.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think Amy did bolster her ranks, which we will get to at the end. A quick view at some player rankings. Sabonis moved up. Oh, that's new. I haven't
seen
Portland
that. Trailblazer, perhaps.
Oh yeah, he has stepped up the game. Those are some big rebound lines. 16.
You know what's nice? They let him shoot the other night. They let him actually shoot the ball.
Yeah, I mean, look at those. Look at like 70%, 30 points. 70%, 25, 80%, like he's that's big numbers.
I don't know if you've watched any Pacers games. I would forgive you if you hadn't, because they're boring.
Yeah.
But basically their offense works as such. For the first 3 quarters, let Sabonis and Miles Turner do stuff. For the fourth quarter, never let them touch the ball again. And LeVert and Brogdon just jack ISO jumpers and miss them.
That sounds like a good plan.
And they have like some sort of absurd record. Like they're like 11. They're like a few games under 500, but they're like less than they have like a 20% win percentage in games that are 5 points or less.
Ooh, like that's a fun stat.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I had the exact number on them, but it was like at one point they were 11-15, and they were 5-12 in games decided by 5, like within 5 points in the final 5 minutes.
Coach.
Come on, Carlisle, get it
coach
together.
Stat. That's a coach stat right there.
Yep.
You have the first and third ranked players right now, and you are not doing well enough for that. So you should get on that.
Again, 6-2 team.
DeJounte Murray also up there.
He's good at basketball.
He is good at basketball. You ain't kidding. I think he's got to be second or third in triple doubles. Yeah, tied for second basically behind the big
Wow.
wigs. So that's a big stat.
That's a lot of value right there.
That is a lot of value, and a guy who's not really giving you many negatives either. Like
No,
his
doesn't really
turnovers
he doesn't
is
turn it
not.
over nearly as much as the other stars.
I mean, he turns it over less than Sabonis.
Sabonis turns it over a ton.
But so like,
because he's kind of got the Jokic role where he has the ball in his hands a lot.
so just looking at this though, like it's less than every other big player on here until you get to who's handling
like
the ball.
Finishers like
I mean,
Allen or Capella.
Yeah, and that's like he's barely worse than Jarrett Allen, who's not doing anything with the ball.
Capella only has 18 turnovers. That's insane.
Yeah,
he really is like your perfect system guy. I don't know what you were thinking.
Because it didn't matter. Okay, we'll get to it in a second, but it didn't matter.
We'll come back to it.
Capella doesn't give the ball up. If he touches the ball, it's getting to the basket or not, right? Like he's either making a bucket or not if he ever touches the ball.
Sure.
There are no
he's
passes.
A finisher.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Trae Young. I mean, so yeah, he's got half the turnovers as Trae Young.
Mo Bamba still calling up the ranks. 18 now.
He's been sitting there for a while. So being that's some reduced production though.
Having a bad few games. Look at that, Bobby Portis coming into the top 25.
Let's talk about this. I'm so mad that I literally was gonna pick him up before you did, and I ran out of moves because of all my injuries, and I couldn't, and I'm so mad because if I wouldn't have made the trade if I picked up Portis, legitimately, because
I also probably would have given you him in our trade if you had asked.
I was debating it, and I should have asked for him.
I probably would have gone either or. I was probably more willing to give up Portis at that point because it felt like his position was temporary because we didn't know about Lopez's back surgery yet.
Exactly. Same reason I went for Aldridge for the exact same reason, because we also didn't know about surgery. Now it is obviously worse, but that was not the case at the time of the trade.
He's going to get buckets this week because Giannis is in the protocol.
Oh yeah, he's like the guy.
And Middleton hyperextended his knee last night.
There's like nobody left.
He's going to get so many shots. Him and Drew are going to go nuts.
The rookies continue to do. Scotty Barnes way up there. Cade. I don't know if you looked at Cade Cunningham lately.
Cade's doing stuff.
He's doing a lot of stuff. He's I don't know where he is in the total, but I bet in the average he's way higher because he puts up.
I think he's fairly low in the total just because he turns it over. And,
well, he also missed a lot of games, so also, like for the season.
Yeah, and also is fairly low percentage because rookies, it's hard to get them high in the rank because they are inefficient.
This is true.
But like that doesn't mean that they're not valuable because he obviously does a lot of things.
Fun guy who has been ranked top 50 in our league the whole season, but nobody's picking up. Pat Connaughton.
Yes, I don't understand why he's ranked. His numbers are not good.
I agree with that. Every time I look at him, because I look at him every week.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. I completely agree with that. Kyle Cunningham only 115, but he's putting up good lines, I think. I wonder why.
Yeah, and he's definitely improving. He's getting better.
Yes. Big points. Shooting pretty decent percentage. Big points.
Hitting some threes. Yeah. It's looking good.
What's with the turnovers? Maybe a lot. What's going on here? Oh yeah, 4 a game. That's a lot of turnovers for a
shooting 38%.
Yeah, that's not great either.
Yeah.
So that's that. What else we got? We look at that. Look at the Roto. Joe continues he's even ticked up a rank since last week in the 30s, which I don't recall.
The Roto is almost like it is pretty accurate right now because it's got the top I think it's almost the same as the records.
I think you're basically right. Oh no, Sandwich is probably the biggest.
And
Sandwich,
Joe.
Yeah, and well, Joe is second in the. Oh, I guess he's third.
Yeah, but only like a game or two back. But you got your top couple of people are at the top of the Roto as well.
Yes, the middle is accurate with U3, and then the bottom is fairly accurate. Although Poop Madness much higher in the Roto than me being dead last, somehow eking out wins here. Win singular, I guess. Yeah, Joe's team puts up the numbers very well.
I'm starting to get closer to my sweet spot of like trying to be above average of every category. I'm getting closer.
You're definitely good in the big man stats.
Yep.
And although not field goal percentage is
I
interesting.
was like 8-9 in all of these, and now I'm up to 7-6. So I'm working on it.
Good
It's
job.
a slow build, and I'm trying to pull it together here. Just I have like 5 guys that are set and forget, and then the rest are like matching up and trying to figure out which stats I need the most help for.
I basically have nobody that I wouldn't drop a given week right now because my team is producing so inconsistently. Because I drafted shittily, which is really the point here, and all my drafts got hurt. So yeah, I look at everybody basically every week. I sat Aiton last week because he was hurt and like played one game, so I I got no guarantees right now.
Dire straits, man.
We
Dire
are in dire
straits.
straits. Speaking of that,
Yeah, we've had some stuff happening.
we had some trades. We did talk about the Capella trade last week because that was, or the last show, because that was before the show. We didn't talk about the following trade.
Let's see.
No, I think we talked about both of those. We had to have. Yeah, because it was before the show. No, it was after the show. It was after the show. We negotiated. All right. So yes, we talked about the me and Amy trade, and we talked about you and Mike trade. But then we essentially did it live and negotiated our trade.
That's right.
For Randall and for Clay and Aldridge. I'm playing the long game. I think I'm going to be happy with this. I think I'm going to be happy with this trade. I've given up the big men because there are none left, and I feel like I got decent value with Capella. So basically, I turned Capella into Lonzo, Aldridge, and Clay, assuming he's healthy, which I think he will be, and do good. I'm happy with that. Like, obviously, I gave up some categories, but I feel like I very much solidified other categories. So, like, I'm not mad. How do you feel about getting Julius Randle?
I mean, I love Julius Randle. You know this. The top end of my team is like 100% Nat guys. Like it's like I got everybody I wanted in the outset now. Like Curry, Sabonis, Christian Wood, him, Dame. Like this is a homer team through and through at this point. And so we'll see how good my eye for talent is because we'll see. But I mean, Randall helped me in a lot of areas where I was weak. He's good on scoring. Definitely am losing a lot of efficiency with some of the moves I've made. Like I'm definitely down in turnovers and field goal percentage compared to where I was earlier in the season. But I've got some good role player guys who are doing stuff like Vanderbilt, who came as like essentially the salary match in the Dame trade, if you will. But he's like a top 40 guy at this point, which is good because Dame is not playing. And also I forgot to move him off the injury list. So I couldn't play him this week.
Yeah, you did.
Well, so that's solid owning right there. I already dropped a couple. I've already changed this around for next week. So but I'm happy with Randall. He's a triple double threat. He gets a lot of rebounds, gets a lot of assists. I think I'm kind of at the point where my game plan is like, I need to win all the counting stats and then like find one more of one percentage or one stock. Because I could, most weeks I should be able to win points, threes, both rebounds and assists. And so I need to find 1 to 2 more of those others so that free throws are not great because Christian Wood is a horrible free throw shooter. So that one is usually.
I didn't realize you moved to the 6 center flow there with
I'm definitely like have superfluous big man stats right now where like I'm winning my rebounds by 100 and like don't need to be doing that. So like next week Deadman's probably going to the bench because he mostly just gets rebounds.
Yeah, hold on. You got to have that list has to have some like the multiples of the top 10 rebounding guys for sure.
Sabonis is a big rebounder. He's like rebounding like crazy.
Yeah, Sabonis is 4, Wood is 7,
Yep.
Randall is
Randall.
11. Yeah, you've got some big.
Yep.
Yeah,
There,
that's
Portis
some heavy
is up
hitting.
there. Yeah, I've got like I got a lot of guaranteed 10 plus rebound guys.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's 24. Like that's your
Portis is 2 ahead of him.
and that's like God, that's on low minutes too. That Portis is a beast. I'm not mad because like we didn't
you're
know
definitely mad.
I'm mad, but like I don't think at the time it was the wrong decision because like if Lopez came back, like he wouldn't be playing. But now that he's not, it's just like
Yep.
The season
It
is
is
missed
rough.
opportunities.
Well, it just doesn't bounce you. Like my Dame trade is definitely not going my way so far. It just kind of is what it is. Like
I do think
I definitely overpaid for him. I will grant that. But I was hoping for like kind of a buy low situation where he would do better, and he has not done better. And Vanderbilt has been a very nice throw in, and he's helped make up for a lot of the stuff that I gave away with John Collins. He's been at least like he's made up for the boards and the stocks and the field goal percentage, not the points, but so he's been helpful. He softened the blow a little bit.
My argument to why I traded Capella, 2 reasons. One, I wanted Lonzo, and
yeah, homer trade.
It was a homer trade. I think I got good value in the end. Overall, I reoriented the team. Also, I am 100% happy if Capella makes Amy thoroughly win the league, and if she beats Joe in the final because of Capella, like, just
chef's kiss.
just beautiful. This is
be real mad though when she beats me in the final.
No, won't be mad.
We're talking about this.
Won't be mad.
It's true. She won't beat me. It's fine.
That would be a good matchup. That'd be a good matchup, I think.
I should have beat her in our matchup. I'm still mad about that. That's the one tie I'm the most mad about. I led that literally the whole game, and she won by like LeBron going like 9 for 12 and 1 field goal percentage by like 1 shot.
Dems to breaks.
Continue with our theme of everything is stupid. Anyway.
Just because you lose. What anything else? What else you got? What else? Anything else? It was good. Recap.
No, I don't have anything else. Getting to real trade season soon.
Yes.
So
this is gonna be a good year because there are multiple teams who are clearly like
there's gonna be some moves.
There's gonna be some moves, and my favorite part, players I have are gonna get moved. Buddy Hield definitely is not gonna end on the Kings.
Oh yeah, that's a very good bet. And I don't think Sabonis is gonna be on the Pacers when the season ends.
Strong agree. And Hield going to any team means he's probably going to start and do better, which is very exciting to me because he's not producing the way he should be. That's exciting. 2, the teams that usually can take players can't take anybody. Like the Lakers can't do shit. And so like it's all going to be like
also Brooklyn and the Lakers are probably the 2 least flexible teams that exist.
And so that's exciting because there's going to be a lot of like mid-team trades to actually make everybody better. I'm excited.
All right. Off the top of your head, top 3 teams that are poised to make a huge move.
So sellers or buyers?
Buyers. You do buyers, I'll do sellers.
Buyers.
Or you can flip it if you want. I can do buyers if you want to do sellers.
No, I want to do buyers.
We'll just both do both because I have mine. You go ahead.
Buyers. Atlanta needs something. They need something. And they're clearly close enough.
They have too many wings.
Too many. They got to do something. They can't win, but they're close enough that they can't blow it up. So they got to do something. They got to go get some guys. So I think that's an equal. That's a buyer and a seller. I think the Knicks are going to be a buyer, and I think. There's a lot of teams that are gonna move, but maybe the Clippers, if they can. No, that's a bad.
I don't really have anything to trade.
That was a bad name. Blazers are gonna be buying and selling. I think is easy. Selling wise, Pacers are clearly like the farm is on the table.
Yeah, everybody's available.
Kings obviously also the farm is on the table because they're a broken roster. So that's what I think for sure the Hawks are going to do something. And I think that's the biggest, most important. Hawks and the Knicks, I think, are the two teams that have the most important moves, because the West Coast, I think, is pretty locked up. Like, I don't think anybody can really do a lot for the West teams. Like Phoenix ain't going to be doing anything.
No, they're good. They don't need to do
Jazz
anything.
can't. I don't know
I think
what
the
they will
Jazz are
get.
going to try to do something. I think they want one more wing.
Yeah, the Wizards, not the Wizards, the Warriors don't, like, they just need to get healthy.
They also just don't do midseason trades. It's not
yeah, when they have Wiseman and Clay theoretically coming back, like that's like just as good as getting a trade for their roster. So yeah, I don't see many teams in the West who are in the hunt doing stuff. Anyway, your go. Well, who do you
I
got?
agree with all of your takes. I think Boston is another one to look at.
Forgot about Boston.
I don't know.
Are they buying or selling?
Are
they buying or selling?
Either. I think they could be buying. I also could see Jaylen Brown on the move. I could see Jaylen Brown going to the Hawks. The Hawks have like a ton of guys that they could trade for him in like consolidation. Because that's
I love that. I love that trade. I don't like
that would
any
do
of
it
that
for them too. That would do it for them.
I don't like the Celtics or the Hawks really, or Jaylen Brown. I love the trade because that actually is like makes a lot of sense.
I love Jaylen Brown as a player. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it will realistically happen, because I think like you would have to give Boston like essentially the like, you know, KG Pierce deal that they did all those years ago in order to get him, because they value him really highly. However,
he's a good player. He's not worth
I think there's a consistent theme emerging. Your two best players can't do the same thing. Portland, Dave and CJ, they do the same thing. Indiana, Miles Turner and Sabonis, they do. I mean, they're more different, but they're the same people. They're the same position.
And they can't be on the floor doing things together. Like they don't do the same thing, but they also are not complementary.
They're not compatible
at all. Yeah.
And then Tatum and Brown, like,
who are the same person.
They're both wonderful players and are awesome at basketball, but they do the same things. And
quintessential example,
weaknesses elsewhere.
Like the Warriors in their dominating years, their four best players, nobody did the same thing. That was like
not even remotely. Everyone had an identity. Like you had incredible. Curry did everything. Clay, the best shooter. You know, Draymond defense, Iguodala crazy weakness, and obviously Durant better than basketball.
And we didn't even, you know, what's funny, we didn't even mention the Sixers because they're a hot mess. They got to do something.
I don't know what to do with them. I mean, no one's going to give them an all-star for Simmons. It's just not going to happen. So
but they got to do something, right? Like they got to, like, as far as a team goes, they're stuck. So they got to do something.
Is there like a Maxey and Tobias Harris and a couple of picks that they could do for a big name?
That's like blowing it up.
Does that get you Jaylen Brown?
Oh.
Maxey, 3 picks and Tobias?
Yeah, but like, do you want that? I don't know.
It's a stars league. I mean, like at this point, if you look at
they need a point guard. They need a point guard.
Top teams are.
They need a real point guard.
Well, I mean, their current point guard is sitting on a beach somewhere. Is the problem?
Yeah, but he's not even a real point guard. They need like actual.
He's very much a real point guard. He's like a top 5 point guard. He just can't shoot. You know, he's like Lonzo used to be, but now Lonzo can shoot and he's really good.
That's I'm glad that that's how you end that thought, because that's correct.
We always have to end on something Bulls related, right? Just for you.
We're gonna end it there because that's a high note and I love it. And good show, good recap, good to see you back. Let's hope we don't have any more Rona games.
Let's hope we don't end up in the protocol.
Oh no.
No. We're still recording.
Oh, we ruined it. I ruined it. I hit the wrong
button. We can do it again. We can
do it again.
You can fix it in post.
You can fix it in post. The Rona lives. Good night.
Yep. Peace.